Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm waiting for another 15 plus 10 training game. Hopefully, I mean, yesterday's game wasn't really too fun because my opponent had messed up very early on in the opening and just gave up opponent was completely lost. But I mean, if I'm showing my defeats, my stupid defeats, then I'm going to be showing you my opponent's stupid defeats as well. And I want to show you all the games. I've actually played this person before. Okay, so it says 1-0, so that's good. I don't remember playing this person. Okay, I'm going to play the open Sicilian, and he probably plays g6. Oh no, this is the guy who plays the Najdorf. So let's see what he does against the prince. I haven't played this in a long time. Okay, he plays a6. Now, I'm going to show you what black should play. Basically, going in for the Najdorf is not as good with white having the Maroczy Bind, but I'll show you that after the game is over. Let me just make sure that the board is okay, that the camera is okay. I think everything is okay. Okay, so now let's start playing. So we have a Maroczy Bind versus the dragon setup. Usually against this, it's better to go for a hedgehog setup, but this is okay. And I'm going to castle kingside. He wants to play knight e5, bishop c6. I'm going to play b3, rook c1, queen d2, rook d1. I've played this setup before, if you remember, maybe 3 or 4 games ago, or 5 games ago, against the accelerated dragon. We actually had this exact position. So this is something I play all the time against many Sicilians. And it could start as a prince, it could start as a Kramnik, it could start as many things. Okay, rook b8 I'm not sure about. I don't see this move too often because for the moment I have 4 defenders on b5. So I don't think that's too good. At this game I'm going to be aware of knight b4, which gave me some trouble last time because I played rook c2. So now I'm just going to play well, I could play rook f to c1. I know that seems strange, but the action is probably going to be on the queen side. No, I've never played it, so I don't want to do it. I'll just play rook a to c1 and continue with my normal setup. So in the last accelerated dragon game, if you remember, I'd played rook c2, and then my opponent played knight b4, and I had to move my rook away, so I basically lost the tempo. Queen a5, can I throw in knight c6, bishop c6, knight d5, queen d2, knight e7, knight d5, queen a2, knight e7? Do I want to trade queens? Because if knight c6, bishop c6, knight d5, queen d2, knight e7, king h8, bishop d2, I'm a pawn up, but the queens have been traded off. And 2 other variations which are important are knight c6, bc6, where his rook is actually okay on b8, and I play b3. But I like that variation. I don't think... Well, actually, his pawn is kind of good on c6. Okay, and then the last one is knight c6, bishop c6, knight d5, queen a2, but that doesn't work because knight e7. Can I just play rook d1 first and improve, or is knight c6 best? I don't think rook d1 is crucial because the pawn is still on e7. So I think I'll go for this. I don't know if it's terribly clever or not clever at all, but I feel that if he takes with the b pawn and I play b3, I should have a very pleasant advantage considering his isolated a6 pawn. Yes, even if he does play d5 later on. Because now this diagonal is not under any pressure. He doesn't have any knight e4 tricks. My knight is defended twice. I will be able to trade off the bishop if I want to. I don't think I want to. I still have some... Okay, he wants to play a5, a4. That much is clear. For the moment, that's defended against. So let's just play the most natural move, rook f to d1, and play quickly. Now we have a better pawn structure and also ideas of knight a4, bishop b6, or knight a4, knight b6. He wants to play c5, probably, because otherwise he cannot make this work if he doesn't play c5. I mean, I'm looking at a very counterintuitive move, rook to b1, so that against c5 I can play a4. Is that too much? So rook b1, c5, a4, and then knight b5. I think that's great. Well, actually against c5 I could just play knight b4 anyway, probably. So that could be a waste of time. Can I just go e5 here? That seems to be incredibly strong. e5 attacks the knight, attacks the pawn on d6. If he takes, the bishop is hanging, and I play something like bishop g5. Can I prepare that somehow? I don't think I can prepare that. Well, I can prepare it with f4, getting my counterplay going, but he has knight g4. e5 doesn't seem to work just yet. I could play bishop g5, preventing the knight from moving, and then play e5, but he has queen b6. Okay, for the moment I'm just going to play h3 to see what he does. I think h3 prevents knight g4. I know that's not the best move, but okay, now he defended the bishop, so now he is safe. He was probably afraid of e5. Yeah, maybe I should have played it earlier, but now I have knight a4. Now I'm misplacing his pieces at least. Setting up a blockade, and if he plays c5, I'm actually fairly happy because I can just go back, and on a4 I can play knight b5. And he probably either has to play c5 or rook e8 because... Okay, c5, and now my plan was knight c3, a4, knight b5. Bishop takes, pawn takes. A takes, a takes. I have doubled pawns. Nah. Maybe I just... Maybe that wasn't too clever. Maybe I can just take here and take a pawn and then try to hold it. I'm not too happy. Okay, I will play knight c3 anyway, and if a4, I don't think. Wait, he doesn't play a4. Okay. 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 I will play rook b1. And this is a better square for my rook. If he doesn't do anything, I'm going to play a4. I'm trying to play quickly because it's going to be a very complicated endgame. Or at least a complicated endgame. If we trade queens, because my bishop is just crap on e2. So I'm going to need a lot of time. And I'm already 5 minutes down. So he has to play a4 here. If he doesn't play a4, then I play a4, and then I play knight b5. And then I think I just have a very pleasant bind on the position. Then again, if he plays a4, I could now trade, gain control over the b file if he exchanges, and then later on play rook b5. Okay, but he's playing for d5, which makes me happy. This may seem anti-positional, but knight b5 is coming. And when knight b5 comes, queen a5 is a very strong threat. And with e6, he has also weakened his d6 pawn, and of course knight b5 looks at d6. I feel extremely happy now from a strategic standpoint. Even though my e2 bishop keeps getting worse and worse, of course, strategically that bishop is a complete idiot, because all of my pawns are light squares. Okay, let's just calculate this one out. There are a lot of things hanging here. Okay, I think e takes, bishop f4, attacking the queen and winning the exchange is good enough. I don't see a way for him to refute that. He has to play e takes. And when I play bishop f4, how does he defend? I don't know. He could take here. But I just take his queen for free and he takes mine, I'm a rook up. I think this just works. I may have miscalculated something, but I'm not sure. So okay, he just gives up the exchange. That's fine. I'm going to have to be slightly careful about the dark squares, but not too much, I think. Because I'm going to get my bishop into c4. That's going to be a monster bishop. Okay, let's trade now and get my queen into e3 back to safety. Which defends b3 and defends the long diagonal. Ah, no, not e3 after knight takes, bishop takes, because he has bishop d4. So okay, I have to trade once. And then I probably just play queen c2 to make sure I don't get my queen lost. And again, I'm trying to play quickly because otherwise I'm going to get into time trouble. I could also take. Can I take? Can I take on a5? Is that too much? Oh, I want to take on a5 because I take, and then of course I have rook d8, trading queens, or winning the queen if he doesn't trade rooks. And if he trades rooks, then I have rook d8, winning the queen. Oh, he's going to play bishop d4 though. But then I can play, okay, queen a5, bishop d4, king h1. Oh, I like queen a5. Let's calculate. He definitely has compensation for the exchange. Maybe his bishops are even better than my rook. So I have to get something else from this position. I could just give the exchange back at some point, but not yet. I'm just going to take on a5. I honestly believe that bishop d4 is his only move, because if he trades, I'm probably just... Why would he do that? I may not even have to give up my pawn. At first, I'd just considered simply rook takes and then bishop d4 and king h1 and queen b3, but I don't even have to give up my pawn. I can just take with the bishop. But I don't like taking with the bishop because he's going to play queen g3 on the next move. This is by no means over, and it's by no means simple. And I will probably have to give my exchange back for some security. So let's see, bishop d1, bishop d4, king h1, queen g3. Queen d2, bishop e5. Am I getting mated? I'm probably not getting mated. Okay, I'm going to take with the bishop. I don't want to give away a ton of material, and I don't see him mating me. And if he doesn't play... wait, maybe king f1 is better. I'd immediately assumed king h1. But maybe king f1. Maybe king f1 for queen e1 if queen g3. That way I can play queen e1 and threaten if he moves his light squared bishop. And now, of course, bishop e2 is defended. Queen h2... queen h2 may be scary. Queen h2 is scary. I did not consider queen h2. Why didn't I consider queen h2? I actually see a defense. I can play queen d8, queen g5, defending everything. Queen d8, king g7, queen g5, queen g1 check, king e2, queen f2 check, king d3, queen e3 check, king c2. No, he doesn't have queen e3 check because my queen is on g5. So let's go again. Queen d8, king g7, queen g5, queen g1, king e2, queen f2, king d3. Where is his check? He doesn't have any more checks, so I'm going to do it. I think it works. The point is I'm defending g2 and e3, the two squares from which he could check me. Luckily, this bishop cannot check my king because of the pawn. Therefore, c4 is a very interesting move. Okay, all of this is forced. I think I'd calculated everything correctly. I hate the bishop pair. I mean, my rook is so much worse than these bishops. That's probably black is better. Maybe there's even a winning sequence for black here. And of course, he has so much up on the clock. And if he plays something like h6 or f6, then queen d2 just consolidates and I'm perfectly safe. I need to trade one of those bishops, even if it means giving up the exchange. I probably should have just taken on d1 with the rook and given up the exchange straight away, and I should have a slight edge. But that way I'm 0 material up and now I'm 3 points up. Okay, I'm happy to see this because now queen d2. Defending g2, defending e3 still. Should probably play bishop d7 here for bishop f5. But he doesn't have time because I trade queens. So he needs to move the queen first. And probably queen h4 is the only move. I don't know if I want to play bishop c2 or bishop e2. Probably bishop c2. To play rook e1. And to try and put some pressure on his king. Yeah, it was a bit too materialistic. Queen a5 was a bit too much. Queen h4 or queen g3, I don't think those are bad moves. He needs to prevent a queen trade. If we trade queens, I probably just win easily. Yeah, I think bishop c2 is a better square. Yeah, okay, queen g3. Let's concentrate. He has no checks now. He has 0 checks. If I play bishop c2 and he plays bishop d7, that seems a bit suicidal, to be honest. Let's break up his structure while we can with b4. It seems weird to be aggressive while you're defending, but I feel like that's the only way to play here. b4, what can he do? He can play bishop d7. And then I push and he wins my rook. If I push, he wins my rook. If I don't push... I need a good move quickly. It's very hard to find a good move here. He's gonna play bishop d7. How do I get my king anywhere safe? Okay, I'm gonna play queen e2. That may not make too much sense, but I think I need the d2 square for my king. I'm very afraid of bishop d7, bishop f5, and I think king d2 gives my king some safety. Yeah, okay. Because now if he checks me here, then I can go here. And then if this check, then I can go to f1. Man, I wish I could give up my exchange for this very strong bishop. Okay, he does check me. So I need to go here. That was the plan. I have to watch out for bishop f5, bishop d3. He checks me again. Okay. I don't know if it's safe to go to f1, and even if it is, it's just a perpetual check, I think, unless I go to the other side. Yeah, I'm just getting smashed here. Probably best case is a draw. Let's go back. And I have to repeat the position. I don't think I have anything smart here. Can I go to f1? King f1, queen h2. How do I defend? I don't see how I can defend. No, I have to go back. I mean, I could probably just lose if I don't. Okay. Why was I so greedy? Okay, let's have a look at this. So let's see. After f3, yeah, after f3, the critical move is e5, of course, and then knight b3. Knight b3, and there are two ways to play. You can play d5, you can play bishop e6, and d5, bishop g5, d4, c3 is probably the critical, most critical, and there are a lot of games, 60 games from here. Also, from this position, bishop e6 is very interesting because you go for a quick knight d7, rook c8. But now c4, knight d7, knight c3, rook c8, it may seem that you're losing a pawn, but you can play bishop e3, and after bishop takes, rook takes, queen d3, queen rook c7, bishop a6. This is actually okay. Because after b6, you are in time, excuse me, to play knight b5 and then a4, a5. So these lines are very complicated in the prince. There are many other lines, but a6 is considered a mistake. And wait, why is the engine on? Okay, so rook ac1, queen a5, and here I think b takes is correct, and a5, and actually here I was considering this move, so that after a5 I can play a4, and he still hasn't prepared the move d5, and I just thought that d5 doesn't work. Coming back to this position when he did play d5, I mean, here it just loses the exchange, unless, as I said, this works, but I don't think it does, because I'm just, how much material up? 1 million. This just shouldn't work. So yeah, in this position, queen b7, maybe I shouldn't trade. Maybe I should just move my queen away. Or maybe I should just play here and give up a pawn like this, and I don't know, something safe. Queen e1. Takes, rook takes. Maybe this is just much safer. But yeah, okay, bishop takes, queen takes, cd, knight d, rook d. And now the critical... And now the critical queen takes a5. The problem is, yeah, there's actually no problem if I play queen c2. And he trades, and I take. Because now, if he plays bishop d4, king h1, queen g3, now I have bishop c4. And if bishop to e5, I think I'm fine. I don't think... Yeah, I'm not fine, it's the same thing. The dark squares are just too weak. So okay, let's say, okay, he does take. Let's say I take with queen. Bishop d4 here, queen g3 here. But maybe all of that stuff works after after this as well. What did he play? Bishop d4, king f1, queen h2. Yes, I'd completely overlooked queen h2. I just looked at queen g3. Okay, and this sequence I think is fine. Queen g1, king e2, h6, queen d2 I think is forced, and now queen g3. And queen e2 is probably just a bad move, because I thought I could consolidate by giving my king these squares. How else can I consolidate? Because he's threatening this. Let's look at b4 and bishop d7. And now, for example, bishop c2. He doesn't check me, I guess. This is interesting, because if he checks me now, I have to go here. Maybe b4 just worked. I was too afraid of b4. And bishop d7 and bishop c2. It probably just works. And after queen e2, yeah, there's this repetition. Let's just check out b4 with an engine. Mistake, b4 was best. Oh, come on! No! Okay, so b4, bishop d7, and I can just take? What? Can I just... Ah, no, okay. I would have played bishop c2, so it's a good thing that I didn't play b4. Okay, but let's... okay, after this I need to take, and if he checks me I win the bishop, which is a great exchange for me. Yeah, okay. And if he doesn't check me, then he takes back. Oh yeah, this is a dream position, because his bishops have no security and my king has many squares. Okay, let's look at this position. Okay. Rook takes d1 plus 2, bishop takes d1 minus 2. Okay. Okay, so I took with the bishop. Let's have a look at this position. So here in king h1 and queen takes. And I take, takes, here, here, This is plus 2.6, a pawn up in a queen and bishop endgame. Well, I guess so, because I have bishop c4. Wait, what? Not bishop c4? Okay. And after bishop takes d1, it's minus 2, even though I'm the exchange. King f1 is minus 5. Okay, I have to learn a lot from this game. I'm going to spend a long time analyzing this position over the board. I cannot do it here because it would take 2 hours. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm off to the board and I'm going to learn from this game. Whoa. Okay, I actually got away with it. Wait, let me just see the position. This position, a4, d5, e takes, bishop f4 is all correct, and white should be better. Queen b7, take, taking is correct, rook takes is correct, queen a5 is correct, bishop d4. Yeah, okay. So my first mistake was rook d1. Okay, I need to learn from here on, so I will. Yeah, I will start now. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for a kind of bad game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye.